Hello, wonderful beings. Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom, episode number 120. I'm Anisha. I am a psychologist, a mindfulness meditation teacher, and an aligned life coach. And I have been a teacher on Insight Timer for around 3 years now. This is a little bit about me. And I would love to know about you before we get on with this live. So, like, which part of the world you are joining us from, or are you joining for the very first time? So, yeah, feel free to drop in a hi in the comments because since I cannot see you, that is my only way to feel your presence. So, yeah, I would love to know a little bit, and yeah, and then we can go on with the live in like 1 or 2 minutes. Hi, Jean. Am I pronouncing your name right? And if not, feel free to correct me. But yeah, hello. And Jean says, tuning in for the first time from Massachusetts. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad that this was going on your screen. And you were like, okay, let's check this one out. And I too hope that you receive something of value from this live today. Okay. Yeah, anyone else who feels like, introducing themselves or dropping in a hi, feel free to do so. And until you do that, I will give you an overview of what we do here, because there are some new people here today. So, what we start with, this live with is a meditation of around like 10 or 15 minutes. And that meditation is based upon the quote that you see when you open Insight Timer. You might have seen a quote on the home page. So we meditate on that quote and we try to reprogram that piece of wisdom into our subconscious mind. So we do that. And then after the meditation, when our hearts are more open, we are in a receptive state, our vibrations have raised so that we can receive that higher wisdom. So from that state, what we do next is we have a wheel of wisdom and we spin that wheel, and the universe, divine source, spirit, consciousness, spirit guides, angels, basically whatever you believe in, chooses a book for us from that wheel randomly. Okay. And then we play another game where I ask you guys to choose a number and we do a reading based on that. Okay. So, yeah. And like I will add on more details when we get to each part. But for now, I would love to know, are you guys ready to meditate upon today's quote of Insight Timer? And if you are settled in a quiet place, let me know by, typing ready in the comments. Oh, hi, Amelia. So happy to have you here again. It's always such a joy to have you in this space. And Amelia says you are in a wonderful space with Anisha. Oh, thank you for welcoming Jean. And yeah, for sharing your experience of how you feel about the space. That means a lot to hear. Okay, so wonderful. Jean is ready, Amelia is ready, and all of the people who are sending the hearts seems to be ready. So let's begin. Begin by coming into a comfortable position. You can choose to sit, stand, or lie down, whatever your body needs right now. As you begin to settle into this position, notice a gentle heaviness in your eyelids. There is no need to make them close, but simply allow them to drift down as though they are magnetically drawn to each other. Feeling them coming close slowly and completely. As they seal all the way down, know that you can always return back to full alertness anytime. But for now, allow yourself to relax, relaxing physically and relaxing mentally. Allow yourself to relax more and more with each exhale. Continuing to breathe naturally without needing to control your breath in any manner. So, today we are going to meditate and absorb the wisdom from a timeless quote by Alan Watts. And the quote is: "We are the fabric and structure of existence itself. We are the fabric and structure of existence itself." Today's quote is an invitation for us to remember that you are not separate from universe. You are the universe in human form. You are the universe expressing and experiencing itself in this human form. The divine breathes through you, and you are its reflection in form. This quote reminds us that everything that you do, think, or feel ripples through the whole. You are both the observer and the pattern being observed. That is the fabric and the structure. So, we are going to soon let this wisdom take root within our subconscious mind using affirmations. So, in order to get there, I am going to count from 5 down to 1. And with each number that I say, you will find yourself sinking twice as deeply into a relaxed state. So let's begin. 5. Feeling your forehead softening. 4. Your jaw unclenching. Letting your mouth rest naturally. 3. Your shoulders are drifting away from your ears. 2. Your arms and legs are getting heavier, sinking into the surface beneath you. 1. Your entire body is now fully relaxed, and your subconscious mind is open and receptive. From this point on, you will let go of all the outside noises and listen only to my voice. I will now share certain affirmations with you that will help you feel wonderful in every way. So, I will repeat each statement 3 times. For the first 2 times, you can simply listen, and on the third time, you are welcome to repeat it after me silently in your mind. So let's begin. Every breath I take is the universe awake. Every breath I take is the universe awake. Every breath I take is the universe awake. The cosmos that I see is living through me. I am the tide and I am the sea. The cosmos that I see is living through me. I am the tide and I am the sea. The cosmos I see is living through me. I am the tide and I am the sea. am woven in all, both the rise and the fall. Life breathes through me, embracing it all. I am woven in all, both the rise and the fall. Life breathes through me, embracing it all. I am woven in all, both the rise and the fall. Life is breathing through me, embracing it all. I belong to all, and all belongs to me. Threads of one vast tapestry. I belong to all, and all belongs to me. Threads of one vast tapestry. I belong to all, and all belongs to me. Threads of one vast tapestry. My thoughts are pebbles cast into the sea. Their rings reach shores I cannot always see. My thoughts are pebbles cast into the sea. Their rings reach shores I cannot always see. My thoughts are pebbles cast into the sea. Their rings reach shores I cannot always see. I am life's co creator, not its spectator. I am life's co creator, not its spectator. I am life's co creator, not its spectator. You did great. And now It's time to return back. So, in a moment from now, I am going to count from 1 up to 5, and at 5, you may either choose to open your eyes, feeling refreshed and ready for a wonderful day ahead, or you can simply drift into a peaceful sleep if it's time for you to rest. So, 1, bringing your awareness back to your body, bringing small movement like wiggling your toes and your fingers, or moving your body however it wants to be moved. 4, 2, feeling the air against your skin. 3, becoming aware of the sounds around you. 4, almost there. Drawing in a deep, nourishing breath. 5, allow your eyes to either open, or you can choose to keep them closed and drift off to a peaceful sleep. Welcome back. If you guys feel to share your experience of the meditation, you are welcome to do that in the comments. If anything resonated with you, or what you liked most, or perhaps your favorite affirmation. And if you don't feel like typing, you can always, just press the heart to let me know that it resonated with you. And I see that some new people have joined us while we were meditating. So I want to say welcome to you all. Welcome to episode number 120 of Wheel of Wisdom. And in case you guys missed the meditation, or if you joined late, then I will, let you know towards the end of this live as to where you can find this meditation, or find this, live again, because this live is getting recorded. Thank you, LJ, for sharing your experience. And LJ says that he feels connected and stillness, a sense of stillness. I am so happy to hear that because that was the very essence of, the quote for today as well as today's meditation. So I'm happy that, you feel connected and one with all. Okay, guys. So, okay, we have another comment. Amelia says the affirmation that most resonated with Amelia is every breath I take is the universe alive. I love that. Ah, thank you for sharing, Amelia, what resonated most with you. Ah, I have like a track, on this that is named There Is Something Wrong with Me, and that is basically based on this particular affirmation. So, yeah, if you want, you can check it out. And if not, yeah, you can ignore it. Okay, so now it's time to move on to some wisdom in a fun way, to receive that message that wants to reach us at this moment of our life. So, let me show you guys the wheel of wisdom that we are going to tap into to receive that piece of wisdom from. Okay, yeah. So, here is our wheel of wisdom, and this wheel contains the name of 31 books that I have came across in, these 31 transformational books are the ones that I came across in my own journey of healing, of personal growth. And today, now that our vibrations are raised, now that we are more open to receive that higher wisdom, we are going to spin this wheel, and the universe, source, spirit, guides, ancestors, angels, divine, basically whatever you believe in, is going to choose a book for us from this wheel that is going to come out randomly based on, it is going to be aligned with whatever everyone present here needs to hear right now at this moment of your life, the reminder that you want. So, for that, I would need something from you guys. And what I require of you guys is to take a minute and bring to your mind, what it is that you would like to receive some guidance on today. So, if there is something specific going on in your life, you can bring that to your mind, or you can set an intention to be open to receive the guidance that wants to come to you. So, whatever it is, a specific, a specific issue or a general intention, once you have thought of something that you would like to receive some guidance on, you can let me know in the comments, either by mentioning that very thing or by typing ready in the comments so I get to know, and then we can move on to spin the wheel and choose a book for all of us here. Wonderful. Jean is ready, and I'm glad that you stayed, and meditated with us, Jean. LJ is ready, Emilia is ready, Carol is ready. Wonderful. Okay, so now let's see. Whatever it is that you thought of, hold that in your mind, hold that in your awareness as I spin this wheel. Okay. So the book that came for all of us is Nothing Something. Is Nothing Something. And I'll always, find this title very interesting. So this book has been written by Thich Nhat Hanh. So give me a second to open the book and then we will see what is it that wants to come through from this book. So the subtitle of this book is um yeah, Kids questions and Zen answers about life, death, family, friendship and everything in between. So it kind of covers everything. So, in a moment, we are going to play a game, and for that, I would like you to wait for a second so I can choose some numbers and then we can play it. Okay. Oh, hi, Jacqueline. So happy to see you here. Jacqueline says hello, hello, hello. Hello, Jacqueline. Long time no see. Yeah, I was missing you. And I'm so very happy to have you here again. Okay, so, hmm. Now, the instructions are that in a moment, I am going to share with you guys or ask you guys to choose a number between certain numbers, okay? And I do not want you guys to rush at all. Instead, I want you guys to take your time and see which number is coming up for you and then share that in the comments. And then I will go through all your numbers that you guys share in the comments and choose a number that I am intuitively feeling called to. Okay. So, in this way, we will get to, tap into that collective wisdom. So, every single one of us receives that message, that wants to come through for all of us. So, the numbers between which I would like you guys to choose is 20 to 80. Um, Jacqueline says, Amelia, oh, we were saying hello to each other at the same time. Yeah, you guys are already aligning, your energies are already aligned. Love that. And I love how you guys, now know each other. And yeah, it really feels like a community here in the live, even if we haven't met each other. And Jacqueline also says hello to everyone else. Wonderful. Okay, thank you, Jacqueline, for sharing a number. Thank you, Emilia, Elisa, LJ, Jean, Renee. Thank you, Julie. Anyone else who would like to share a number? Okay, then let's see what wants to come through. Which number am I feeling called to among these? Thank you, Joe, for sharing a number. And I am glad, Joe, that you did because the number that I'm feeling called to is 45. So thank you, Joe, for sharing a number for all of us. Okay, let's see what wants to come through page number 45. Hmm. Usually this comes up. This also came up last time, and it is actually not a reading. It's this. It's this. And the text here says, "May I give you a hug?" So maybe Joe, universe is trying to tell you that, go hug someone that you love or give someone a hug that that in your life and that might need a hug from you. So seems like that is the message that wants to come through from from the universe for you. Okay, yeah. Jacqueline says hugs. Oh, okay. Maybe group hug right now. Okay, so everyone, I invite everyone if you might not look silly or who cares, but yeah, I invite you guys to, imagine as if you're hugging like every one of us in the space, okay? So, and you can begin that by hugging yourself, and feel that energy expand. So maybe, place a hand on like your shoulders like this and yeah, and squeeze yourself real tight, and just feel that hug. And just feel yourself connecting with every single one of, you know, every single beautiful being present here in this space. And imagine all of the wonderful people here are giving you a hug and sending you warmth and love. Okay. Ah, I love that. It brought like this warmth in my heart. Yeah, Jacqueline says, so nice, isn't it? You know, and if you really, really want to feel it, I would advise you, like, to take like a pillow, okay? And like, hug that pillow real tight. And it would really feel like a hug. Okay. Ah, yeah, I really, so when I was living like alone, so yeah, then I used to like hug a pillow whenever I needed like some love. So yeah, it is beautiful. So yeah, maybe try that. Emilia says yes, really nice. LJ is sharing some love, and everyone else is also through that, heart option. Okay. So now that we have tuned into the love that is within all of us, in fact, I was going to include another affirmation in that, in this meditation that we did. And that was about that all the love that I give returns to me because, we are everything. So, and we can create that ripple. We are that powerful force. So we are connected to everything. So it's like, you pluck a wire and there are these ripples of love going off from it and then it eventually comes back again to you. So yeah, I didn't included it, but it seems like it wanted to come through me. So and I'm glad I got to do this, thanks to Joe. Mhm. Okay, so now would you guys like me to do another reading from this book or should we spin again? Because this was more or less a picture, not a reading. So, yeah, what would you guys prefer? Should I continue with this book or should we spin the wheel again and choose a different book? And the name of the book is Nothing Something. So, yeah, I would love some votes. You guys just, decide the direction of this live. So, yeah, same book or spin again. Okay, Jean would like the same book. Okay, then let's go with that. So let me go through the numbers again that you guys shared. And if anyone new joined us, you guys are welcome to share a number between 20 to 80. Um, okay, let's see. Thank you, Jacqueline, for sharing another number. You are, but yeah, you need to then be responsible for the consequences of it, Amelia. Because when you do, then Thich Nhat Hanh circles back to us multiple times. Okay, thank you for sharing that number, Amelia. And I was actually feeling called to that number as I went through all the other numbers. And because, the person that mentioned this number was Renee, and Renee has also chosen that very same number, which is 28. Okay, okay, okay. Jacqueline is asking, not allowed. So, Jacqueline, to give you and anyone joining for the very first time a context, hmm, that few lives ago, yeah, it's a long story, which I end up repeating in every live because that's what happens. And I would like to give some context to the people joining for the very first time. So, what happens, Jacqueline, was few lives ago, what Amelia did was she mentioned randomly that I'm feeling that we might get a book by Thich Nhat Hanh. We might get some reading from Thich Nhat Hanh and something like that. And what happened from that live on, in every single live, maybe except one, we got a book from Thich Nhat Hanh. Like every single live that a book from Thich Nhat Hanh came up again and again and again. And now Amelia is fed up. In a way, yes, she loves him, but yeah, in a way, she is fed up with that. So that's why she says that I'm not allowed to comment on Thich Nhat Hanh. Okay. So I hope that you got the context. And now with the number that Amelia and Renee chose for all of us, which was 28. Let's see what wants to come through that page. Oh, so Jacqueline says, "Oh, well, Amelia is magical. Yeah, she is. We have given her every title that there is a fairy, a powerful creator. I don't even remember all the other titles that we gave Amelia. Yeah, she is a master manifester, manifestation manifester. So, yeah, she is absolutely magical. Hmm. So the universe do not let Emilia forget the light that she is. Okay, so now moving on to the reading that Emilia chose and Renee chose for all of us. um, Jacqueline says, thank you for explaining it to me. You're very welcome. Thank you for asking because for the ones who are joining first time, they might be like, what is happening? So yeah, thank you for asking. Okay, so the question that came up on this page is as I mentioned, these are kids' questions, and kids ask the most wonderful questions because they are the amazing, curious creatures, and we were once. And maybe we are also right now. But yeah, the question is, why is my brother always so nasty towards me? So that is the question that the kid asked Thich Nhat Hanh. So the author replied, someone who is nasty is someone who is not very happy. When you are happy, you are not mean to others. So I guess this is a message that wanted to come through for the ones who chose that number or for anyone else who is present in the space, and who is dealing with a nasty person or someone who is rude or who is causing them pain or hurt. So this is the reminder that wanted to come through that someone who is nasty is someone who is not very happy. When you are happy, you are not mean to others. Take a quiet moment and ask yourself, why is that person being mean? What are all the possible things that might be happening in that person's world that is, that has ended up making them a rude person, or that is making them mean to me right now, or mean to my loved one right now, or in that moment, whenever that happened. What were all those factors that led them to be mean in that moment, or that led them to have that kind of personality that they have? So, ponder that why might that person be unhappy? So, what that brings is a sense of compassion, from moving from hurt or anger to moving into compassion, where we can hold a space for not just our own suffering, which we need to heed to first, whenever we are doing this um, forgiveness kind of work. So, holding first space, a compassionate, loving space for ourselves, because we have been hurt by their words, no matter what caused those, but yeah, we were hurt. So, holding that space for ourselves. And then, once we have, been there for ourselves, then opening it up, opening our hearts up to also them, maybe not in the real world out loud, but in our mind, opening our heart and wondering that why might that person be suffering? Why this person ended up being this kind of a person that he is or she is, or why they might have been rude in that moment. And that help us, you might have heard of how love can transform, everything. And how, we cannot counter darkness with darkness, we need the light. So this can be that, where you shine light, where you become aware of what might be happening in their world. And that brings a natural feeling of compassion within our heart, which is a very good antidote to anger or to most emotions, I must say. So that is the first thing that the author mentions. Okay, let me go through the comments before I read the next line in there. Chris says, sometimes people confuse clear and concise candor as rudeness, though. Yeah, maybe that might be the case, that we misinterpreted that situation, that we are partly responsible for our suffering because we got hooked by that story in our mind that this person is rude. But maybe they are that kind of a person who don't speak so much. And we have equated, you know, um, we have equated being nice with, being outspoken, for example, you know because sometimes people think like that introverts are rude and I'm an introvert. But yeah, that they are rude, but it's just that they like to keep it to themselves. And I've heard like in different cultures, for example, I have heard, I'm not sure because I'm not from that culture, but yeah, I've heard that, I think in Finland or areas like that, they like to speak less. And it doesn't mean that they are rude, or I've heard that, people don't smile so much at strangers in certain countries, and that is not true. That is just their culture. So there might be different factors for what happened. And when we see that, we realize that maybe I interpreted that situation wrong. Maybe I am partly responsible for whatever is going on, in my heart, that hurt that I'm carrying, because I have attached myself to a story that my mind told me in that moment. And that was actually that, the another line in this, that we are also partly responsible for their behavior. So, for example, when there is like a conflict between partners, we always see the other person's fault and we blame them. But if we really honestly ask ourselves, we would realize that maybe there was some of our fault as well, in that behavior. Maybe I didn't directly caused it, but maybe I didn't communicated it clearly as well, you know. I just lashed out on them, and then they didn't get to hear that. So just, bringing in different scenarios so that you have like that 360-degree open, perspective of a situation. And I would tell you that when we start to do that, when we start to question ourselves and ponder all of those different things, I can like assure you, because that has happened with every single client that I've had, that the feelings in itself changes, and they are like, wow, I never thought of this. And there is like this complete shift in their inner state. So yeah, so maybe questioning whatever your mind is telling you might be the thing that universe wants to convey to you. Okay, there are so many comments. Let me go through them first. Emilia says, hurt people, hurt people. Ah, yeah, I love that one. Yeah. Hurt people, hurt people. So true. From seeing without judgment, acceptance naturally emerges. Yeah, exactly. And thank you, Amelia, for sharing that. I think that is a popular statement, and that when also that, whatever you have inside is what you give. So if you have pain inside, you are going to inflict pain upon other person. You are going to blurt that out. You're going to, let that out in some other way, whether verbally or even non-verbally. So what you have within is what you let out, or hurt people, hurt people. Okay. Chris says, I have learned that I must not dismiss, I think. Yeah, very important lesson. Thank you, Chris, for sharing that with all of us. Exactly. Jacqueline says, I used to say hurt people, but I have changed it to, okay, new perspective. Yeah, I would love to hear that. But I've changed it to hurt people, sometimes hurt people. Mm-hmm. Okay, I love that. I love that because we have all been hurt. It's how we choose to handle it. Wow, I love that. Thank you for bringing in that point, Jacqueline, as well, because it reminds me of, making that another point, which is that whatever feelings that the person is having, they are valid. Every single feeling is valid, every emotion is valid, but their behavior is not. How they choose to respond, as you say, is not valid. They need to, because as Jacqueline says, that everyone have this hurt within us, and that is also a common connection. And that was the another line that I was going to go through, in this paragraph, which was the author mentioned that you can also ask yourself if you are ever meaner to your brother. So because in this case, the kid asked that why my brother always is nasty towards me. So if you ask yourself that have I hurt anyone else in my life, have I made a mistake that cost anyone else? You will realize that you have, because you are human. And that is the very thing that connects us, that, I also make mistakes and so do you. I have hurt people intentionally, unintentionally, whatever. And that person has also. So that is also like a thread of connection, what we covered in today's meditation, that how we are all connected, that how this is a part of being human, to make mistakes, to end up hurting people that maybe we don't want to, or that we may even not have realized that I hurt that person. So, thank you, Jacqueline, for mentioning that we all are carrying this hurt. And when we shine light upon their hurt, it brings compassion, it helps us process it. And we are not directly jumping into their hurt, as I mentioned. We first address our hurt. We bring compassion to that. We bring love and light and warmth and whatever it is that we need to ourselves first. And then if we are open to, we open our heart to that, to see what is going on in theirs. And when we realize that there is this natural warmth that comes up, and again, we do not have to do anything about it. We do not have to go and say to this person that I forgive or whatever, but it's just a feeling for us. Just like you might have heard that anger is a thing. Like anger poisons ourselves, and it doesn't hurt other person. I do not remember the exact. quote or something. But yeah, in the essence that when we're angry, it is the thing that is poisoning us, and they don't, sometimes the other person don't even know about it. So it helps us let go, and it helps us cultivate a beautiful feeling of compassion and love out of that hurt to transform it. Like we are an alchemist turning, I don't know, lead into gold or whatever it is that they used to do. But yeah, we have that kind of a capacity within us. So it helps us highlight that. It helps us see our own power and see our own beauty and see that humanness within all of us. So, and we also see that they could have responded differently. So we understand them, but we do not, you know, um, embrace that behavior of theirs. I'm not getting the right word, but yeah, we do not like that behavior of theirs just because they have gone through something. But yeah, we understand it. Okay, let's see. So much wisdom comes through you guys. I love that. Emilia says, Anisha, I don't want my husband hearing I'm partly responsible for any conflict. Again, we don't have to tell them, but it is a thing that we need to reflect on ourselves first, within ourselves first, because that is what honesty is. That is what honesty is, that really asking ourselves that is there, could I have handled that situation differently? Even they were the one doing that thing, even anyone else I ask would say that they are at fault, but still ask ourselves what the other person might have not seen. Ask ourselves, could I have done anything differently? You know? And that would help us see that, yeah, maybe I am a teeny tiny bit at fault, you know? And sometimes that what happens, it helps us open up and, to bridge whatever it is with that person. So yeah, it sometimes create that space for us where we are not just resisting everything, but we are humbled by our own imperfections, and then we are open to accept or to, again, not like, but yeah, accept that this person has these imperfections too, and you know let's see if we can work it out, if it is healthy for both of us to work it out, if it is a win-win situation for all of us, like not the ego win, but yeah, um in the long term, a nice situation for us to work it out. Okay. Hmm. Okay, let's see. Okay, Chris says, I have learned that I cannot diminish my authenticity just because some people cannot handle the truth. I must speak truth to power to remain true to myself. But I also accept self responsibility for my thoughts, intentions, speech, emotions, feelings, and actions. I love that, that how you have allowed yourself to speak your truth, and your truth meaning, I I do not personally count thoughts as truths, because I believe that our opinions and thoughts create a difference between us humans. But what I believe as truth is what I'm feeling in this moment, and what I'm needing in this moment, because everyone feels that way, because everyone have those same needs. So I feel like that connects me with the human race, in general. So, I love that you have allowed yourself to express that vulnerability, to express, whatever is happening within you, wherever you choose to, and that you also take responsibility, that for the kind of thoughts that you have, for the emotions, for the feelings, for your actions, because it is important to realize that it is important because it gives our power back to us, when we realize that I am responsible for the way I think about the situation, for the way I act. And we are not blaming that because this person did this to me in in that moment, or this person did this to me in the past. I have a right to be a miserable person and to make other people's life miserable. That is not, that is not how we are going to, I don't know, heal ourselves or bring love into the world. That is not an excuse. So I love your share, Chris. Thank you for sharing, all the beautiful lessons that you have learned. And Chris says, I'm also the first to apologize because I know that I am definitely not perfect in any sense of the word. Exactly, neither of us is perfect. And that imperfection is the connection. That imperfection connects us. So yeah, I'm also the very first one to apologize. So whenever I lash out sometimes, or not very big way, but yeah, I get irritated. Yeah, I get irritated with my brother, just like this particular, question. So once we have that talk and I'm irritated and I say something, then after a while, I reflect on it and I go back to him and I say sorry. I shouldn't have said this. And I say these things. And he's like, no, no, don't say these to me because he gets uncomfortable with that. But yeah, I feel like I need to apologize. I need to let him know that it was not him, it was something of my own, or what I said or what I did was not right. And yeah, I feel like, you know, why not apologize if I did something wrong? So, yeah, just something that came to me from your share, Chris. Okay, now let's see. Jacqueline says, yes, absolutely, Anisha. We all experience all the feelings. They are valid and should be acknowledged. They are there for a reason to teach us something. Exactly. So your feelings are valid. They are important. They deserve to be here within you. They belong within you. Every single feeling, even the ones that you hate, because they are there for a reason. So thank you for highlighting that, Jacqueline. Ah, okay. Chris says, I actively implement the power of the pause. Important one. Very transformative. Very simplistic, but very transformative. So, yeah, Chris says, I actively implement the power of the pause so that I'm responding instead of reacting in every situation and scenario throughout my human experience. I love that, Chris. It feels like it should be something on the fridge or a post-it note in your room, on in our room as well. Yeah, I love that. I love how you worded everything, and yeah, that is the aspiration to be able to respond to as many situations as we can instead of reacting with our old patterns. Okay, Rich says, hey Anisha, a bit late to the party today. That's all right, Rich. You're always on time. We are always on time where, in terms of wherever we need to be. So yeah, I am so happy to have you here. I might have to, end this live sooner compared to my other lives because yeah, today I have to go somewhere because today is my father's birthday. So yeah, we are going to celebrate that after this live. So so I might have to, wrap this up, like um make it like shorter compared to other lives. But yeah, I hope that we will get to do one more reading. Anyway, we got a lot of wisdom from you guys from this reading. I love that because I always say that the space is about that, is being open to that wisdom that is going to come through any source. It can be the book, it can be me, it can be any other person here, or any other person that you are with in your world, in your place, and you were just open to receive that wisdom right now. Chris says, Amelia, thank you for that warm and endearing hug, my friend. It felt like a warm cashmere blanket fresh out of the dryer. Thank you, Emilia. Oh my God, such a beautiful, cozy imagery. Okay. Like when I was reading it, I felt like I'm wrapping that, around me. So yeah, thank you for, that beautiful visualization, Chris. Okay. So we have the final comment that I'm going to read, and then, we will move on to the next reading, hopefully, if we still have time. Yeah, V says, just a second. So let me fill my own cup. And then, I will continue with the beautiful comments by you guys. Oh, okay. Jean is leaving. Jean says thank you and happy birthday to my father. I have to leave now. Thank you, Jean, for joining us. It was so amazing to have you here. And I would love to see in the next live. I forgot to put the card here. But yeah, I would invite you to, if you feel called to follow me so that you get notified or you can see in the event section when my next live is, because I would absolutely love to have you. Okay, just a quick, just to tell you. Yeah, so so here you can, in the event section, when you go to my profile, you will find the next live, which is a day after tomorrow. Okay. So yeah, I would love to see you there, Jean. Okay, let's go through the rest of the comments. Um, yeah, I was going to that, Deb. Yeah, I was going to that. Uh sorry I made you wait. Deb says, my sister is full of hate and anger. I can feel badly for her when not in her presence. But I feel attacked and frozen when in her presence. She is unapproachable, so no communication is possible. Oh, dear, you know, as I was reading that comment, what came up for me was compassion, like for you, but also instead of, trying to make anything happen there before that, in that situation when you're feeling frozen or when you're feeling attacked because your system is kind of shut down, you have frozen because your mind is perceiving that as unsafe, that situation or that presence as unsafe. So in that moment, I would encourage you to be kind to yourself in terms of, it can be in any manner. It can be something nice that you can say to yourself, that it's okay, Deb, you are being strong here, and it's okay to feel this way. It's human to get frozen when I'm not feeling welcomed or loved, or I'm not in a very safe space. Or you can like show compassion through a gesture that maybe is possible in that situation. um for example, a gesture can be like, yeah, so there is this practice, so if you are standing, you can do it, but maybe not in front of her. So you can, okay. So what I'm trying to say is that you can try a regulation technique at that moment to help you okay, yeah, you can try this one. Yeah, so you can try a regulation technique in that moment to help you connect with that moment, with the space, so you feel safe in that moment. So your system is not frozen, disconnected, or whatever happens for you inside of you. Okay. So there are multiple regulation techniques that you can try. But yeah, what came to my mind was this, because this you can do without anywhere, like without letting the other person know. Let me see. Yeah. So you might have heard of it, you might have tried it, but this might help you to feel, like that space is safe, this environment is safe. Because I'm not sure, but maybe something happened with you and your sister that made your system believe that it is not safe to be with her. Or maybe your system is afraid of that angry reaction, that you get from her. And you might not have faced that in the past from her, but maybe from someone else. And then that makes your system feel unsafe. So it might help you feel connected with this moment and notice all the things that make you realize that it is safe for you. So you can try this technique. Okay, 5 4 3 2 1. This helps you like come back to the present moment if you go to somewhere else or if you feel disconnected. Or maybe you can try, let me see. Yeah, maybe you can try going to the bathroom and then try a regulation technique, so that you feel a little bit settled. But in her presence, another technique that you can do is this one. This also makes you feel like you are safe because um yeah, okay, let me not go to explaining all that. I've included that in the track. But yeah, you can try. I have some regulation techniques, or you can search for them and try them so that you feel safe. I feel that that is the first step in that situation to let you know that you are there for yourself in that moment. So, yeah, that is what came up for me, Deb. I'm not sure if that is helpful or not, but yeah, that was what I felt called to speak. Deb says, thank you, Anisha and friends. You're welcome, Deb. Okay, let's see. Um, yeah, V says happy birthday to your father, Anisha. Thank you, V. Thank you for your lovely wishes. I will convey that to him. Jim says, I appreciate your kind tone and supportive way. Thank you, Jim. I am glad that you feel supported and held in the space. I'm so happy to hear that. Um, and let's see. Yeah, Riddhi says, can you read me some guidance on my particular situation? Um, okay, Riddhi, we can do another reading and yeah, I don't do like specifically for one person. I basically hold the space for that message to come for everyone. So, what I invite you, if you would like to receive some guidance, is to actually, bring very clearly to your mind as to what it is that you want guidance on as I spin that wheel so that you receive that, guidance, whether it is through a number that I chose from you or from someone else, but that message can come from any way to you. Okay. So if you want that, we can do that. Yeah, I've never done it individually for anyone. Hmm. Okay, but if you would like, maybe we can experiment. We can see if something happens. Yeah, I want to trust my intuition and see what wants to come through. Okay. So are you guys okay? I want to ask other people, are you guys okay? You know, if we try to do an individual reading for Riddhi. Does that work for you guys? I'm also trying it for the very first time. I don't know what is going to happen, but I trust my guidance. Okay, V says yes. Okay, Jacqueline says absolutely go for it. Jim says okay. Thank you guys for your permission and for being so kind. Thank you. Okay, so Riddhi has shared her particular situation. Oh, you're welcome, Riddhi. So, Ridhya shared her particular situation, which is I had an argument with my best friend and I don't know what to do about it. I'm not sure if she intended the joke from insecurity or jealousy, or she just said something silly and unaware. I don't know if to let it be and let her come to me, or to send her a letter, and if it's okay and safe to be vulnerable with her. Okay. Mhm. So, yeah, we did talked about that a little bit, in our previous reading, Radhi, that, when someone do or say something that is mean to you, that is rude, then, how to process it within ourselves. And yeah, I think we did address it, but I feel like your question is more towards what to do now. This happened and what to do now. Should I approach her? Should I let her come to me? Should I express my real feelings with her? What happened within me or not? So, Riddhi says, I'm hurt, but she thinks I'm sensitive. And now she is probably being stubborn. Okay. So, yeah, so what I'm hearing is that you don't feel it is a very safe space for you, that your emotions and your vulnerable feelings would be accepted in that space because she might label you as sensitive and you are labeling her as stubborn. there is this friction going on because we have put a label. So when we put a label, what happens is that we block ourselves from seeing the whole of the person, and we just think that that person is just that, whatever label that we put on that person. So, so I would encourage you to maybe try letting go of that, label of stubborn. And I understand that, it feels so difficult and hard and confusing and like this lack of clarity that what to do. Should I share? But I also do not want to get additionally hurt, to feel like I'm not okay in some way, when she says when she says that I'm sensitive, sorry. Yeah, or I am, in that kind of um a category. So yeah, I hear you. And let's see, let's spin the wheel and see what wants to come through from that for that. Okay, there are some comments. Let me go through them. Uh Riddhi says yes, and okay, let me go through from the starting. Maybe I missed something. Chris says, I have so many internal. Did I just hear that dumbass statement? Moments throughout my day. Again, I am so grateful that I discovered the power of pause because it actively empowers and verifies the working functionality of my professional filter. This is why I have turned down numerous SVP and VP roles because you have to hide behind the mask at that level of executiveship. I am always keep it real, raw, and uncut because that is just me. I'm sorry, but not sorry. Thank you for sharing that. And for sharing what has worked for you, Chris, is to take a pause and, you know, to question whatever it is, however it is, I'm evaluating that situation. So that is what I'm taking from this, from the show. Yeah, Emilia says, Chris, all I can do is read the first line. I can't. Okay. Yeah, Riddhi says, yes, I want to be vulnerable and sovereign. Yeah, or give away my power because I just set a boundary, which is okay, and I was validating my feelings. Hmm. Yeah, Riddhi says, yes, divine will show us the way. Let's spin. I do value her friendship and don't want to cut this off, but I would like love and grace here. It's nice to know that, what would you like from the situation and what is acceptable and not acceptable in that friendship, and then make a decision based on that. That is this the kind of friend that I want? Do I want, just like, Chris shared that Chris is very clear as to I do not accept this because it would hinder me from being myself or from expressing myself. So similarly, asking ourselves that, is this the kind of friend who I want, who um with whom I cannot express my feelings, not my opinions, not my thoughts that, I think you are so stubborn and all of that, because that is not going to help you resolve a situation in a peaceful manner. But instead, is she the kind of friend to whom I can express my feelings and honestly share that when she said this, I felt hurt because I have a need, to feel loved, to feel, valued by you or valued in general, and communicating that in terms of your feelings. I think we talked about it in the last live, the exact way to communicate that to the other person, the exact way to communicate your feelings and needs and make a request, which is, what it is that you would like to do from now on. So saying that clearly out loud instead of just expressing what happened for you, end it with a request for what that person what do you want from that person from next time? What do you want her to do? For example, I do not want you to call me this from the next time, because it makes me, you already shared how it made you feel. So it help her also understand what is, the boundary? Where's the boundary? Because it is not visible, it is very vague when you just express your feelings and do not convey clearly that what is it that you would like from her, from, from moving on from now on. So, um, yeah, I feel like uh, I have already answered or I have already shared how to address this. But if you want just to experiment, we can do a spin and see what comes through from the book. But yeah, to summarize, what I shared was to to see, what kind of friend do you want, and to learn how to express it, which you can go back to the last live, you can watch it, or you can find the summary in my group. And there I have shared the exact way to share your feelings, needs, and requests to that person without making that person defensive, or without making that person, um, s- yeah, defensive is the right word. And yeah, I guess that's what I shared. The previous things I said, I forgot. Okay. See, Aruthi says yes. Let's see. Okay, let's see. And hi, Robert. Robert says hi, Bob from NYC. Welcome, welcome, Robert. Happy to have you. We are just doing the last reading, and we were just experiment to do an individual reading for the very first time. Usually, we do a reading for all of us, but yeah, Riddhi requested, so we are going with that. Jutsa says you're cool. Hi, Jutsa. Welcome back. Happy to have you here again. Okay. So let's quickly spin this wheel and do the last reading for today. Okay. So, Riddhi, I invite you to hold that, that situation or that question that you have right now in your mind as we spin the wheel. Okay. The book that we just read from came up again, which was Is Nothing Something? And it seems like, yeah, because I felt complete, when I shared whatever I shared with you. I really felt complete. And I guess that's why we are coming back to the reading that we did today, which help you in situations like this. Because the question that came up was, why is my brother always so nasty towards me? So if Riddhi, you were not present, I'm going to, let me know if you were not present for that reading, and I will read that again for you. And for the question, what to do now, or how to communicate to her if you are willing, I will share where you can find the summary of the previous live, or where you can find the recording of that live. Okay, there you would find the answer. Okay, so yeah, I will sure I will read that again. Riddhi says yes, please read it. I joined late. Okay, sure. So again, the kid asks, why is my brother always so nasty towards me? The author says, someone who is nasty is someone who is not very happy. When you are happy, you are not mean to others. So take a quiet moment and ask yourself, why is that person being mean? So, Riddhi, what the author is inviting us or invited us here to do is to go back to that situation and consider what might have been all the reasons because of which she might have said that thing. You already did a good job there, a little bit, that you said that maybe she said that and she wasn't aware, or you mentioned two other reasons. So try to think of all the factors because of which she said that. Okay, or because of which she is the person she is. She has that personality. So, what might have happened to her? What might have happened in her past that made her like this? That made her, you know, in this manner, or believe all those things that she does. So, when you do, when you reflect on that, maybe you might start to feel your heart opening a little bit, you know. So, first opening your heart to yourself and saying something kind to yourself, that it was so hard for me to hear that, that word or that statement in that moment. And, feeling hurt is really difficult. And it's okay to feel this way. It's okay to feel my emotions so deeply. Saying all that beautiful things to yourself. And then, you can ask yourself this question, that why might she have said that statement? What might have happened to made her the way she is? And if you feel called to open your heart to her, not in the real world if you don't feel safe there, but in your mind, in your inner world, and say a nice thing to, like, send a nice blessing to her. And then ask yourself, as the author says, you can also ask yourself if you are ever meaner to your brother. So, what the author is inviting us is to reflect that, have you ever said anything mean to anyone else, maybe unintentionally, but have you? Because it would help you connect with, the humanness, the imperfectness, and to connect with, that maybe you didn't mean that when you said that, so maybe she also don't mean that. So yeah, that was the reading that came up. I hope that that was helpful, or that gave you a direction with your question. Yeah, Riddhi says yeah, and Riddhi says yes, compassion and forgiveness to her and me. Exactly, I love that how you included both you and me, both you and her. So I'm glad that you got what you needed from the space. Oh, thank you, Riddhi. Okay, guys. So it seems like, this is the time to end this live. So yeah, okay, let me go through the comments. Yeah. Jacqueline says, I'm heading out now. I am glad I got some Anisha time. Thank you for spending your precious time with me, Jacqueline. It was so, so lovely to have you here again. And Jacqueline says, have a beautiful rest of your day, everyone. Enjoy the birthday celebration, Anisha. Thank you, dear Jacqueline. Yeah, I will convey your wishes and everything to my father. Okay, Amelia says, see you at the next live, Jacqueline. Yeah, thank you, Amelia, for sending her, like, saying goodbye. Okay, Jim says, thanks for such helpful analysis. Oh, I'm glad, Jim, that that was helpful to you. Thank you, dear. Um, Robert says bye to Jacqueline. Okay. And thank you, Neeta, for this beautiful, kind donation. I'm so happy that something from the space touched you and that you decided to, start to create that ripple of love. And I'm sure that that is going to come back to you multiplied. So, yeah, thank you. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, Deb also says, thank you, enjoy the celebration. So yeah, anyone who is a regular here, who has been here before and who knows what I'm going to, go into next, because I am going to share, some of the resources that I've created for you guys in case you need any of them. So yeah, I'm going to go into that. So if you are a regular and you would like to say goodbye and bye for now, then you can do so. And I would love to have you in the next live. But yeah, for now, you can bid goodbye and then we can go to the last part of this live where I'm going to share some resources with everyone who's joining here for the very first time. Okay. Bye bye, Jacqueline. Love you. Bye. Okay. Oh, thank you, Jim, for that kind donation. Thank you so much. I am so happy for you. It was so amazing to have you here. And I really wish that this contribution that you have made, because this donation will help me, these donations that you guys are making will help me to create more resources for the ones who need them but can't access them. So it would help me create more free resources for everyone to access. So yeah, thank you for supporting that work of mine. Thank you for supporting that. And I hope that something magical and wonderful happens for you today, that this kindness that you have let out comes back to you in some way, in a beautiful way. Okay. We says enjoy the day, everyone. Bye for now. Bye for now. I will see you soon. Okay, Robert says thank you, Anisha. Goodbye. Goodbye, Robert. It was lovely having you. And thank you, Amelia, for this amazing, oh my God, your generosity and for your constant support. It so means a lot and it allows me to do a lot. So thank you for making a difference in my life and in the life of many other people. And I hope that, you know, this beautiful energy that you have been sending to me for the past month comes to you, bringing you so much peace, love, joy, healing if you need that. And I hope that you feel valued every single day of your life. Okay, so my beautiful, amazing, lovely people who decided to stay for like 10 more minutes to get to know about all the beautiful things, all the amazing things that I've created for you guys. Thank you for giving me your time. And I hope that you really do find some resource that is what you need at this moment. Bye, Chris. Chris says, Anisha and friends, I bid you adieu. Adieu. Bye. Okay. So, my dear ones, where you can find, there are three places where you can find all of my resources in one place. Okay. So, the first place where you can find what I offer is you can go to my playlist, so you can go to my profile. Okay. You can go to the home section there. And when you scroll all the way down at the bottom, there used to be a playlist. Oh, the playlist came. Sorry. Yeah. So for like the last few days, I was not able to see the playlist here on my homepage. So yeah, I got pleasantly surprised that they are back here. So this section was not visible. So I added the links in my group. But yeah. So yeah, that is the first place where you can find all of my resources, which are the playlists. So I have like four playlists in which I have organized all of my content. Okay. And as I said, you will find the links to that in my group as well. So for the ones who really want to leave right now, or who miss, okay, for the ones who missed the live or would like to get a summary of what we read today, or um, who would like to stay connected. So I would invite you guys to join this group, which is named Wonderful Beings. So you can either search for it in the search box on Inside Timer, or you can I can go to the homepage and scroll all the way down. And here you will see something like Teachers Group, Wonderful Beings. So in this group, what I do is after this live get over, within like 5 to 10 minutes, I share a summary of what we did. So, the type of meditation that we did, the name of the books that we read, and the readings that we did. Maybe today I might it might take me like more than 1 hour because I'm going to directly go to a celebration after this. But yeah, usually I upload the summary within 5 or 10 minutes. So yeah, and I also mentioned in that group in case I have to cancel a live because of a reason that is not in my control. So, I mentioned that exact reason also there. So yeah, it is my way to stay connected with you and you can stay updated with whatever is going on. So yeah, that is the first place that you can go to after this live if you want to get a summary of this. Now, coming to the first place where you can find all of my resources, the four playlist. Okay. The first playlist is 21 days mindfulness meditation challenge. So it includes so I'm also a mindfulness meditation teacher. And if you would like to cultivate a meditation habit, you can check this out. Okay. The second is self soothing techniques for difficult emotions. So I was talking about regulation techniques in the live, and this is where you can find all of the regulation techniques that I have published on Insight Timer. So these are basically the coping strategies or the healthy ways of coping, the nervous system regulation techniques that you can use when you're feeling overwhelmed, that you can use when you just can't tolerate whatever is happening inside of you. So at that moment, you can use these techniques to lower the intensity so that you can then process your feelings, then go to all of the other work that you do. Okay. Yeah, so that is the second playlist. The third one is for negative thoughts and limiting beliefs. So if you believe any of these things, like, there is something wrong with you, wrong with me, I am not good enough, I'm too broken to heal, what if I make the wrong decision? So, if you struggle with negative thoughts or limiting beliefs, you can check out this playlist because it has like 3 to 4 minutes tracks, and they basically help you feel not alone in your suffering, and they help you shift your mindset so that by the end you leave with a ray of hope in your heart and in your mind, and you can move forward in your life. So that is the third playlist, and I will keep on adding more tracks to it. I'm just a little inconsistent with this one because it takes me a lot of time to sit with it and come up with something creative. Okay, the final playlist that you will see here is Wheel of Wisdom Pick a Meditation. So, this playlist contains all the meditations that we have done in this particular series because we do one meditation in each live in this Wheel of Wisdom series, and we have recorded over 100 meditations, and I have from them I have published around 40 tracks which you can find here, and the new ones get added every Wednesday. So what I've done is here is the same thing that we do in the live, which is I've included the instructions for that here, but I tried to make it like a game. So what you can do, what the instructions are, is to close your eyes, scroll through this, and just place a finger. And on whatever meditation that you place a finger, do that on that day because that is the meditation that your soul wants you to be guided through. So yeah, you can tune into your intuition in this way because the more you rely on it, the more you connect with it, the more that connection strengthens. So you get the answers that you need at the most critical moments of your life. So yeah, this is the one place where you can find all of the resources that I've created you, basically the tracks that I've created. The second place where you can find everything is the courses section. Okay. So I have 7 courses that are online here, and I will quickly put them here so that in case you are going through that thing on which the course is about, you can save it for later to go to after this live. Okay. So this is my first course. This is by far my most popular course on Inside Timer. So it has over like 3,000 people, and soon it is going to be 4,000. But yeah, every single person has benefited from this course. I have had positive feedback. And what the course is about is to identify those ways of thinking that are making your life miserable, that are not good for you, that create suffering. And these are not just random classifications, but based on 2 therapeutic approaches. So you can identify which one do you have, and I have included specific techniques for each of those thinking patterns. Okay, so if you struggle with that or if you are interested, you can save that. The second one is master your mindset by identifying your limiting beliefs. So basically what the scores have is to be able to shine the light of your awareness to become aware of what is controlling my life, what is creating the reality that I'm experiencing. And what that is your limiting beliefs that are stored in your subconscious mind that are hidden away. So this course includes all the techniques that I know of to reveal those and to also reveal where did you got that from, which creates a sense of freedom that they are not your own. So yeah, if you would like to do that, if you want to know what is running your life, then you can try this course. You can save this. And the next one is in this particular negative thought domain or limiting beliefs is this one. So, this particular course is based upon a therapeutic approach, which is CBT, and it includes certain techniques and questions from this approach to help you overcome your negative thoughts. It can be applied to any negative thought or your limiting beliefs. So, I have mostly referred it the techniques for thoughts because they are easier to deal with on your own, but with beliefs, you need the other person most of the times. But if you can try them for your beliefs as well. The techniques are same. It's just you need someone else to help you see what is happening within your world, which you can't because you are in it. So yeah, if you are interested in that, you can save this course. And then the other courses that I have, the four other courses that are left are this. So, I mentioned a playlist about developing that meditation habit or mindfulness habit. But if you want to dive deeper and live truly mindfully with awareness, with intention, with all of those different things, then you can try this particular course because it will help you go deeper both within your practice in the meditation room and in the world outside. So, yeah, you can try this one. And yeah. The next is this: how to stop chasing and start living. So, if you feel like you keep on running after happiness or peace or success or whatever it is, and you think that it will happen in some distant future, then in that case, this course might be for you because it help you reflect that is it true for you in your life? And if it is, then how can you start to shift that and bring a balance between doing and being? So this is my like shortest course. So yeah, if you want to change your mindset, you can go to that course. And if you want to experience how exactly is what am I seeking right now here? I don't like my present situation or my routine is so boring. So if you want to add some colors to your life or feel more alive in your daily life, you can try this course. It will help you, really see the beauty that is already here. Okay, and the final course that I have for you is this one. So I talked about the regulation techniques you remember in the playlist. So and then I mentioned that once the intensity is lowered, then you can move on to process your feelings. So if you don't know how to process your feelings, or if you are in denial of your situation, or if you want to move forward from that difficult situation and you are not seeing a way, then you can try this particular course because it will help you learn, all of those different things that I mentioned. So, yeah, so this was the second place where you can find all of my resources. Now, if the playlist or the courses that I've shared with you up until now are, did not provided you what you were looking for or what you need right now at this moment of your life, then in that case, the third place and the final place where you will find all of the things that I offer is you can go to the About section on my profile. Okay, scroll all the way down, and at the bottom, you will see this. Okay, and here, you know, um, you will find some additional free resources as well as if you would like some personalized support, or guidance regarding your situation, or if you would like to work personally with me, then you will find a way here as well. And if you would like to know more about me, my journey, what I came across, how I dealt with it, the lessons that I learned, and all of those different things, then you can, also check that out here. Okay. So these are all three places where you will find all the resources that I've created for you guys. And I really hope that you found something, um, some resource. I hope that some resource resonated with you. So, and yeah, don't forget to get to that resource after this live and, take those actions to move forward, to grow, to heal, to do whatever it is that you're seeking at this moment. But for now, thank you so much for patiently listening to me. Thank you for checking this live out and giving this a chance, for your amazing, beautiful presence here, for the wisdom filled, interaction that we had today, the lovely hearts that flew in. So thank you so much for everything. I bow down to the divine within you all. Namaste. And I will see you day after tomorrow. Okay, bye bye. Emilia says, thank you, Anisha. See you at the next live. Thank you, Emilia, for being here. Always love your presence. You bring such a lovely energy here. And yeah, I will see you in the next live. Yeah, so I didn't share the next live here, but yeah, you will find that in the event section on my profile. Okay. Jim says, much appreciated. Looking forward to checking them. I am glad that maybe something resonated with you, Jim. And I hope that you do find whatever it is that you're looking for. Okay. Bye bye. Take care. Is the live over for you guys? Because I clicked over, but I'm not getting the end page. Okay, maybe let me record this.